Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Have you ever heard the phrase, you reap what you sow? Well, it's a farming term, and most of you can understand it this way. If I plant wheat, I'm going to harvest wheat, right? If I plant corn, I should see corn grow. If I plant soybeans, I should see soybeans grow. But there's this concept of sowing as well. When you plant one soybean seed, you expect a soybean plant to come up. In that, you would expect multiple pods of soybeans, right? If you plant a kernel of corn, you expect a stalk of corn to grow, and there should be at least one, if not two, ears of corn with many kernels of corn on it, right? And it's an interesting concept. You reap what you sow. Well, it's true in our lives as well. Today, as my reading through Proverbs chapter 11, two verses stood out to me, and I'm going to share them both with you today. It's verse 16 and verse 25. The wicked man earns an empty wage, but the one who sows righteousness a true reward. And then in 25 it says, a generous person is enriched, and the one who gives a drink of water will receive water. When we chase after righteousness, living a right life, that's what righteousness is. I know it seems like that holy word that we always throw out there, righteous. It's righteous. You're righteous. Well, it means you're striving to live right. Everyone can do that. And when you sow righteousness, in other words, you strive to live right in the right ways, you're going to find a true reward. Jesus said, pressed down and multiplied. Those are my translation, right? In verse 25, it says, a generous person will be enriched, and the one who gives a drink of water will receive water. In other words, if you give generously, somebody needs water, and you give them water and bread and some really yummy dip for the bread, you're going to receive an enrichment that goes beyond what the need was. But if you just give someone water, you can expect that what you get in return is what you planted, right? What you gave. And so in real life, that means when you give your neighbor a compliment, and it's not done because they did something nice, but it's just done to encourage them. That's that righteousness, and you can see that come back around in your life. It may not ever come from them, but it will come around in your life. It doesn't always happen that day, although it does often. It doesn't always happen that day. It may be years later, but it's worth the effort. And so my question to you today, as you go out into the world, is what are you planting? Well, what are you cultivating? Because after you plant the seed, you got to make sure that nothing else gets in the way of it growing. What are you cultivating? Because if you planted a seed of righteousness into someone, you told them you loved them and you guided them down a path, and then you walked away waiting for that seed to grow so you can go pick the great harvest, you may find that a crow came in and plucked that seed right up out of the ground. Are you there to guard the seed you plant? It's easy to do because there's so many seeds to look after. It's easy to do because so many times the place you planted it is so unhospitable. The truth of the matter is, as we plant, we must be sure that it's cultivated as well. If you plant a seed and you can't cultivate it because it's too difficult, then you need to make sure somebody's ready to step in and take your place. It's critical. So today, sowing and reaping is the lesson, but it has to do with what we give to others and what we see in our lives. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. God bless. Don't forget, go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. That'll be helpful to me and maybe helpful to one of your friends later on. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. God bless.